These are 10 life-changing habits that you guys need before you enter 2025. The first is you're going to start treating yourself like the champion you are. You are the main character of your life. You are the prize. So what does a main character or a champion do first thing in the morning? Basically, they have a very good morning routine that sets them up for the day. They understand that starting their day with intent and purpose and setting the tone for the day is very important. Now, that could look like you meditating to clear your mind, or you journaling to process your feelings, or you drinking lemon water first thing in the morning because you know what, you want to start your day off on a healthy note, or you just listening to some music and vibing out because you know what, that puts you in a good mood and that raises your frequency naturally. So it could look like anything. However, when this is done with intent and purpose, you're setting the tone for your day. That means you're setting the mood you're going to experience for maximum portion of your day. Let me tell you how that plays out. When you start your day on a good note, it's basically like a domino effect in your brain. Your brain keeps looking for things that will give you that dopamine hit that you would giving it first thing in the morning. That is, it's going to put you in a good mood every single time. So every single time throughout the day, no matter what your energy levels look like, your brain is kind of inclined towards something that's making you feel good on the inside, towards something that's bringing you joy, that's making you feel a little bit more positive, a little bit more uplifted, and that's exactly what you're going to do. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to set goals. Yes, we all have goals, we all have ambitions. What do your goals and ambitions look like? And now once you figure that out, you're going to break them down into manageable steps that of course you can start doing from now and take them directly into 2025. So when you're in 2025, you don't have to do anything because you've already done the cognitive stuff. You've already broken the goals down into manageable steps. You know exactly what you need to do every single day to take you one step closer to the end goal. And that's exactly what you're going to carry forward into 2025. And you know what? You're going to be able to achieve that a lot more quicker because you did that for your future self. You already sorted your future self's lives out. The third habit that's actually going to benefit you for the rest of your life is you're going to practice learning. Now, learning could come in the form of books, in the form of classes, courses, lectures. Of course, that's academic learning. Learning could also come from life experiences. Learning could also come from things that have happened to you and it's taught you a little bit of a lesson. That's also learning. You're going to watch all of the YouTube videos. You're going to consume knowledge like you consume water. And that's going to be a part of who you are, because to be able to become the person who has that dream life, who has that goal that you so want badly, that person consumes knowledge like it's water. And knowledge can come and look in various shapes and forms. You have to be open to it. You have to be open to emotional knowledge. You have to be open to intellectual knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Just be open to everything. See what comes to you. See what resonates with you. Take the lesson, take the knowledge, gain everything that you have to gain out of it, and keep adding those practices into your daily life, because that's not just going to benefit you just for that particular goal that you have in life, but that's going to simplify your life at 10,000%. Now, for example, I'll just give you a very, very basic example. Now, if you have a very hard time making decisions, you're very indecisive, you remember somewhere you read or somewhere you heard this, probably Gary Vee said this, and you remember that and you're like, you know what, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. That just simplifies your life, isn't it? Like you were deciding whether to order takeout or not tonight. And if you're kind of fluctuating between yes and no, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. So simple. You just simplified your life so much. That just adds so much clarity and understanding, and it just makes everything so articulate and concise that you know what, you don't really have to keep elaborating on all of these unnecessary things. Like you save a lot of time and you're a lot more productive. Now, having said that lifelong learning is a very important part of who you are, that also means mindful consumption goes hand in hand with that, because you can't just be consuming anything and everything, because given that we live in a digital age, there's a lot of unnecessary content on the internet that should not be there, in my personal opinion. There's a lot of negativity, a lot of hate, a lot of violence, a lot of drama. You do not need that in your life. That's literally adding no value to your life. Like I can give you examples of what kind of value is negativity content adding into your life? What kind of value is drama adding into your life? If you think that's a source of entertainment, it's really not, because it's it's actually disrupting the frequency that you're on. So it's really not adding any value, it's actually devaluing you. What kind of value is it adding is how you're going to evaluate whether that content is really good or not. I'm not even talking about funny content or memes or something that's comedy, because that's adding value into your life, that's making you feel something, that's making you feel joy, that's actually bringing a lot of laughter into your life, which is again automatically putting you onto a different frequency. It puts you on a higher frequency, and that's exactly where we need to be, because vibration and frequency is everything. So all you're going to do is focus on raising your vibration, raising your frequency by mindful consumption, because we're not trying to pollute or corrupt our mind here in any way, because we know what we want. We've established that already, and we know how we're going to get there. So anything that does not align with that version of you needs to go. Again, on the note of raising your frequency and vibration, you are going to practice the art of giving gratitude every single day. Whether that be first thing in the morning for the thing that happened the previous day, or at the end of the day. At the end of the day actually makes a little bit more sense to me personally. So you can write either 3 things that happened throughout the day that made you feel so grateful for being alive, or so grateful that you had that opportunity, or so grateful that you met that person, or so grateful that it got you so much knowledge and peace and learning. Or it could be 5 things, it could be 10 things. If you have so many things to be grateful for, the more gratitude you give, the more frequency you raise. It's very simple, because gratitude, enlightenment, abundance and peace are literally the highest frequencies on the frequency chart. So you need to understand that, and you know what, you don't have to necessarily do it if you don't have anything to give gratitude for. But even when you don't have anything, you still have things to be grateful for. You can still be grateful for the basic of basic things that you probably have in your house. You have fresh water, you have fresh food, you have clean clothes. Okay, you could be literally grateful for literally anything and everything in your life. You don't have to have something immense or something really life-changing happening to you that particular day. Even if you don't go through all of that particular day, or that same day, or that same week, it's fine. You can literally be grateful for anything and everything that you have. You are going to inculcate movement into your daily routine. Now, like we drink water, we eat food every single day, you're going to move your body every single day. That's why I did not specify working out or gymming, because that's something that a lot of people won't be able to commit to. Hey, if that's something that's on your to-do list, you want to be able to commit to it, which is great. I'm 110% with you. You can actually do it. But if if that's something that's not your piece of cake, that's something you don't want to do, you're going to inculcate movement. Now what that means is you're going to get 10,000 steps every single day. That could be literally you walking your dog, you going on a walk downstairs and just walking around the area that you live. Whatever it is, you could be running, you could do at-home workouts. You don't even have to go out. You could literally have weights and a treadmill at home, and even if not that, you could do yoga, you could have a mat, you could do anything. You could literally do anything at home that's going to complete that movement for the day that you said you were going to do. But at this stage of your life, you really need some sort of movement in your day-to-day life, because you don't understand what kind of value it adds to you and to your life as a person. It not only de-stresses you, but it increases the dopamine levels in your body. That means you're going to experience happiness and joy a lot more as soon as you work out. And you know what? These are happy hormones. Why don't you want to hack it? You want to be happy, right? For no reason. It's okay. So you just go work out, you just get some movement in, listening to music, listening to a podcast, listening to an audiobook. You could be doing whatever you want, and that's a little bit of a me time. So there's a lot of added benefits to you moving your body. It's not just you moving your body and getting in steps. It also gives you space and time to process your feelings if that's what you want, to process what's going on in here if that's what you want, or to brainstorm ideas. A lot of people have said that they have gotten ideas in the gym, or while working out, or while running. Okay, so you know what, if that's something that you want to do, it's a multifaceted spectrum. It's not just one thing that, okay, that's just one thing that I'm going to get my steps in and I'm going to feel good. No, there's a lot of things that go with it. So that should be really a part of your routine at this stage. This is a very, very, very important one, is you're going to learn how to digitally detox and disconnect from your phone from time to time. Now, it does not even have to be drastic, because a lot of people work from their phones. A lot of people work on their phones most of their times, and we're literally glued to our phones. So when it comes to being glued to our phones, I think that's when you need to let go. When you're working, it's completely fine and understandable, but when you're just sitting there doom scrolling, that's literally doing you no good. It's literally doing you no good. It's going to actually put you in a bad mood. I'm telling you, it literally will, because it's messing with the receptors in your brain and the content that you're consuming. Even if you're consciously not aware of it, maybe you're just scrolling and you're really not paying heed to it, but you're still listening to it. That means your subconscious mind is still exposed to that content, which means somewhere you're still getting affected by all of that content, which you do not need. And also, again, spending so much time on your phone as compared to spending the equivalent amount of time, if not less, in reality, is doing you no good. You need to understand that relationships or friendships or real things happen in real life. They don't really happen on the phone or on the internet or on your laptop. It doesn't really work like that. It happens in real life. You need to disconnect from your phone, give yourself some space from your phones, and give yourself some space from social media. Let it like die off. Let the illusion of social media and the content that you see on social media sometimes, and the knowledge that you consume on social media, sometimes it's okay to detox from all of that. You don't really need all of that to function in real life. You can actually go and build connections in real life. You can have a life in real life where you're actually talking to people, where you're going out, you're having a blast, you're actually enjoying yourself in reality, not in your head. The next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna save yourself, you're gonna save your future self the trouble of having the correct finances in place by being financially disciplined right now. So we all have goals, we all have ambitions, right? That we've established that. Now, if your goal is to buy a house, or your goal is to travel, and your goal is to have luxury goods and items, how are you going to purchase that? How are you going to purchase that? And this is again an example, of course, if you want somebody else to gift it to you, that does not come in here. But if you want to buy something by yourself, how you're going to get that is you're going to have financial discipline in your life. And that's just not necessary, but it's also a healthy habit to have, because you can't be stressing your future self out so much because you do not care enough to save right now, to have those habits in place right now, to have those financial goals and a structure in place to be able to maintain those financial goals right now. So of course you can build on it, but you need that system in place. You need to understand, you need to have the knowledge, of course, but you also need to understand where you need to put your money, how much money you need on a day-to-day basis, and the difference between your needs and wants. And again, for all of that, I have a whole different video, so you guys go watch that, because that's just going to make a lot more sense, where I talk in detail as to what you need to do with your money. So you need to understand, and you need to actually come to terms with the fact that you need to be financially disciplined, at least if you're in this stage of your life, if you're in your late 20s, where you're figuring yourself out. Of course, nobody has everything figured out yet. It's fine, but you need to be at least taking a step towards being able to figure everything out. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna cultivate healthy relationships, and by that I don't just mean healthy relationships with your parents, your siblings, your family, or your better half, but it also means having a healthy relationship with yourself. You're going to check in with yourself from time to time. Now that could look like anything. It's actually, to give you a very simple example, when you check in with a friend, how are you? Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? Or whatnot. It's just a simple text message. The same way you're going to treat yourself, you're going to ask yourself questions where, do I feel good? How am I? Do I feel good? Am I okay with this? Like, is everything going fine, or do I need help? You're going to check in with yourself. Of course, you're going to build a very consistent and a very stable relationship with yourself, because you have to understand people may come and go, but the relationship you have with yourself is going to be consistent and it's going to be lifelong. That's the longest relationship you will ever have. So you have to make sure that you treat yourself like that. The longest relationship you ever had. So you put in that amount of effort, you put in that amount of time, you put in those amounts of hours that you try to get to know yourself, where you're actually working on knowing yourself, understanding yourself, learning a bit more about yourself, what you like, what you dislike, what you stand for, what you don't stand for. If things have changed in the past, you know what, maybe you stood for something in the past, but now you're like, I don't stand for that anymore. It could be literally anything. What you like to wear, what you don't like to wear, what your favorite color is, or whatever it is, okay? What your favorite hairstyle is, what you like to do in your spare time. It could be the simplest of the simplest things, but building and cultivating that relationship with yourself is going to be an ongoing process. So just because you're chasing things, you're chasing goals, and you're working towards a future self, does not mean you skip or you're negligent towards your present self right now, who needs you the most. Okay, so you're going to look after yourself and you're going to build that relationship with yourself. Again, diving into it, self-care is a non-negotiable. So of course, building a relationship with yourself is a part of self-care, but self-care also looks like taking time off sometimes when you feel like you're burnt out or you're too tired or you don't want to do things. Holding yourself accountable when you feel like, you know what, I'm slacking unnecessarily, I can do better. Keeping and holding on to motivation, because motivation is a myth. Totally. Motivation does not exist. You're going to be motivated one time in a month or 2 times in a month. You need to understand that discipline is something that's going to pull you through, and you're going to build on discipline. You need to understand that discipline is the highest form of self-love. Okay, the more disciplined you are, that means the more love you have for yourself, and it starts from there. And then from there, once you're disciplined and once you have systems in place, you have to treat it like work. If people are having a hard time understanding self-care and even just coming to terms with what self-care could look like, you have to treat it like work. You wake up, you do something for yourself first thing in the morning. You wake up a little early, probably you wake up at 5, you meditate, you journal, you relax, you listen to music, you make yourself some tea or you drink lemon water, you go for a walk. These are all self-care practices. You fill your own cup before you're about to fill somebody else's. Because once you have a good relationship with yourself, once you've taken care of yourself, you can show up correctly for other people. And that's exactly what we want, right? So that's what we're going to do. Having said that, we come to the end of this brilliant video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till then, I'm going to see you guys in my next one. Take care and bye.
Money on top of me, money on top of her. Money on top of me, money on top of her. Daddy fuck with me 'cause